She's in her high chair, fussing, not screaming, just that low building whine. You're across the kitchen, phone in one hand, trying to finish something. You glance over. She's fine. She's fed. She's safe. You go back to the screen. She quiets down after a minute. And you think, good, she figured it out. But here's what actually just happened. And this is going to reframe how you read a lot of moments like this one. She didn't figure it out. She gave up. Not dramatically, not with a breakdown. Just quietly. One tiny adjustment in how much she expects from you. And that adjustment? It's almost invisible. But it's not nothing. This video is about 5 everyday patterns, things good, loving, well-meaning parents do that slowly, cumulatively erode the thing your baby needs most from you. The belief that when they reach out, someone reaches back. None of these are abuse. None of them are neglect. Most of them were probably done to you when you were little. And that's exactly what makes them so hard to see. Let's start with the one that's going to feel the most uncomfortable. Mistake 1. Chronically dismissing crying. Not ignoring a cry once because you were in the shower. That's life. We're talking about a pattern, a rhythm. The baby signals, and the signal consistently goes unanswered, minimized, or brushed off. She's fine. He just wants attention. Don't pick her up every time. You'll spoil her. You've heard it. Maybe you've said it. Here's what the research actually shows. Bell and Ainsworth published a study in 1972 in Child Development that tracked maternal responsiveness and crying across the first year. What they found ran directly against the cultural script. Mothers who responded promptly and consistently to early crying had babies who cried less by 12 months. Not more, less. Responding didn't create dependence, it built security. And when that response is chronically absent, the baby adapts. They stop signaling. Not because they don't need you, but because the signaling stopped working. Mary Ainsworth's Strange Situation Research in 1978 classified these babies as insecure avoidant. They looked calm, independent, easy. They weren't. They just learned to stop asking. That's the part that gets people. The baby who never cries isn't always the most secure baby in the room. Sometimes they're the one who's already made a calculation no infant should have to make. Mistake 2. Being there without actually being there. You're on the floor next to your baby, technically, but your eyes are on the screen. Your mind is in your inbox. Your face is doing nothing, and the baby notices. Oh, they notice. Edward Tronick ran a now famous experiment at Harvard, the still face experiment, published in 1978. He had mothers interact normally with their babies, then suddenly go blank. No expression, no reaction, no voice, just a face that was there but gone. Within seconds, the babies tried to pull them back. They cooed, they reached, they escalated, and when nothing worked, they withdrew, turned away. Some became visibly distressed in under 2 minutes. Now think about what a longer, lower-grade version of that looks like stretched across days and weeks. Not a blank stare, just chronic half-attention. The body present, the mind elsewhere. The Harvard Center on the Developing Child calls the back and forth between caregiver and baby serve and return. The baby serves a look, a sound, a gesture, and the caregiver returns it. That loop, repeated thousands of times, literally builds neural architecture. When the return doesn't come, those connections don't form. This isn't about guilt-tripping you for checking your phone. Every parent does that. This is about the pattern. When half-presence becomes the default, the baby starts building their brain around the expectation that their signals go into a void. And here's the part most people miss, that leads us to something even harder to spot. Mistake 3. Unpredictable responsiveness. This one is counterintuitive, so stay with me. Consistent unavailability is damaging, but inconsistency might actually be worse. Sometimes you're warm, attuned, locked in. The baby gets the full version of you. And sometimes, because you're exhausted or triggered or just stretched past your limit, you snap, you pull away, you respond to the same cry with frustration instead of comfort. The baby can't predict which version is coming. Ainsworth identified this pattern too. She called it anxious ambivalent attachment. These babies didn't shut down like the avoidant ones. They ramped up. They clung harder. They cried louder. Not because they were needy, because they were trying to manage uncertainty. Think of it this way. If the slot machine never pays out, you stop pulling the lever. But if it pays out randomly, you pull it constantly, desperately. Because maybe this time. That's what an unpredictably responsive caregiver creates. A baby who can never quite relax, who monitors every micro shift in your face, your voice, your posture, trying to figure out which version of you just walked in. That level of vigilance takes a toll, and it doesn't just go away when they start walking. Mistake 4, treating distress as defiance. This one comes wrapped in language that sounds reasonable. He's just doing it for attention. She's trying to manipulate me. If I give in now, they'll learn they can control me. Let's be very clear about something. John Bowlby, the father of attachment theory, established in 1969 that infant attachment behaviors are biologically driven. Crying, clinging, reaching, protesting separation. These are not strategies. They are survival signals, hardwired. The baby's nervous system is doing exactly what evolution designed it to do: activate the caregiver's protection system. A baby in the first year of life is neurologically incapable of manipulation. They don't have the prefrontal architecture for it. They're not scheming. They're drowning and reaching for the only lifeboat they know. And when the lifeboat responds with frustration, withdrawal, punishment, the baby's threat system fires at the exact moment the safety system was supposed to come online. That's not a lesson. That's a collision. So, what does this actually change about how you respond? We'll get there. But there's one more pattern, and it's the one people almost never talk about. Mistake 5, dismissing the reunion. This is the sleeper, the one hiding in plain sight. You walk back into the room after being gone. The baby lights up, or fusses, or reaches, or cries. And you say, "Oh, stop it. I was only gone for a minute." Or you're at daycare pickup. They're melting down. And you think, "Come on, I'm here now. What's the problem?" Here's what Ainsworth's strange situation research revealed that changed everything. It wasn't the separation that predicted attachment security. It was the reunion. How the caregiver responded when they came back. That was the single most diagnostic moment. Did they acknowledge the baby's distress? Did they make space for it? Or did they rush past it, minimize it, treat it as inconvenient? The reunion is the test, not of whether you left, everyone leaves, but of whether the leaving is repaired. When a baby melts down at pickup, they're not punishing you. That meltdown? It's actually a sign they held it together while you were gone. They coped. They managed. And the second they saw your face, the coping stopped, because they finally could let go. The meltdown didn't begin when you walked in. It ended. Let that sit for a second. What to actually watch for. So here's where this becomes practical. Not rules, observations. Notice if your baby has stopped reaching for you when upset. Not once, as a pattern. A baby who consistently turns away from comfort isn't showing independence. They may be showing you they've stopped expecting it. Notice your own pattern, not your worst day, your average one. When your baby bids for your attention, what's your most common response? That average is what they're building their expectations around. Notice the reunion. When you come back, from another room, from work, from the store, what happens? Do you meet their emotional state, or do you skip past it? And notice unpredictability. If you're warm 1 hour and sharp the next, not occasionally, but regularly, that inconsistency is louder than either response on its own. When to look closer. Some of this is just the grind of parenting. Nobody gets it right every time. That's not what this is about. But if you notice your baby has become consistently flat, rarely seeking comfort, rarely protesting, rarely lighting up at your return, that's worth a conversation with your pediatrician. If you notice yourself regularly feeling anger or resentment toward your baby's needs, not a passing moment but a pattern, that's not a moral failing. That might be burnout, postpartum depression, or your own attachment history showing up. And it deserves support, not shame. This channel helps you observe and understand. It's not a clinical diagnosis. When something feels off, your pediatrician is always the right next step. The closing. Here's the thing no one tells you about these 5 patterns. The fact that you watch this, the fact that something in you wanted to look closer even when it was uncomfortable, that's the turning point. Bowlby himself emphasized it, and researchers after him confirmed it again and again. Attachment is resilient. It bends. And when a caregiver becomes aware, truly sees the pattern, repair begins. Not perfection. Repair. You don't have to get every moment right. You have to get enough of them right. And you have to be willing to come back when you don't. That baby in the high chair? She's not keeping score. She's not building a case against you. She's just waiting to see if her reach still lands somewhere. Make sure it does.